What are some strategies or some advice that we can offer leaders to, take care of their emotional health?
Yeah,
Leaders, this show is specially made for you. Today, we're going to talk about the ways that you can take care of your emotional health so that when you need to show up, you can show up not only for yourself, but for those who depend on you or count on you for your guidance. For those of you who are new here, my name is Anna Hill, and I am a content creator and influencer for Officially-Unofficial, as well as a pretty awesome headshots photographer. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to my guest, Michael Zgro. He's a professional leadership coach specializing in emotional intelligence. Michael, hello.
good day. How are you?
All right, Michael. So, this pandemic has shuffled everybody. We can say the entire world.
That's right.
And us, right, as leaders, we have a little bit of an extra weight because a lot of people look up to us for guidance,
That's right.
right? So, how do we take care of ourselves? I mean,
Yeah. So that's the age-old question we keep coming back to. One of the things I know for sure that a lot of leaders, business owners, people who supervise folks at the start of the pandemic had to make sure they addressed was not only taking care of them, their employees and others, their clients, customers, but also themselves. But for real this time, okay? So a lot of people have talked about this in the past and said they were doing it, right? And so when the pandemic hit, we were forced into, if you had not been doing that work for yourself and taking care of you in equal measure of taking care of everyone else, then it was going to show up. And so I'm sure, and I know some of the folks I worked with, increased stress, worry, fear, anxiety, anger, disappointment, all the feels, right? So if you weren't doing this work before the pandemic, you absolutely have to during the pandemic because it's just not going to get easier without practicing those muscles of taking care of yourself. You needed to have the muscles, but if you didn't, it's not too late. It's
so with that said, what are some strategies or some advice that we can offer leaders to, take care of their emotional health?
Yeah, there's a few things. One is just behavioral. So if you were a go-getter before the pandemic, then likely you didn't take care of your feelings and you didn't take care of the feelings of other people. All right, because the focus was always the goals. All right, and during the pandemic, we not only have to think about the goals, but we have to think about people. Okay, now the opposite is true for the feelers. I'm a feeler. All right. And so as a feeler, I have to make sure I think about the goals. Okay. So if you're a goal oriented person before the pandemic, you probably didn't focus too much on people and feelings. If you were a feeler before the pandemic, you probably didn't focus too much on the goal. You focused on the feelings. So behaviorally, you have to pivot. All right. So goal oriented people need to pay attention to people and feelings, and people who are feelers need to also pay attention to the goals because as a business, as an organization, you have to be productive. You have to make money. You have to do those things. And so, there is not like a winning side to this. Okay. So we have to pay attention largely to productivity and morale. All right. So as a leader, my best piece of advice is making sure that we're doing both of those things. One side doesn't win out, right? So we can't be kumbaya feelers all day and not hit the goals. And we can't just be all about the goals and make money without, paying attention to people's feelings, right? It's a marriage of both of those things. And if we can do that, what I've seen through the pandemic are the leaders who are doing both of those things at the same time and getting more productive results. Here's what I predict. In our new normal, our goals are also happy employees. right? People who are thriving in the workplace, okay? That has to also be a goal, all right? And so once we start seeing people as a goal, that makes it easier for the goal-oriented people to pay attention to that, okay? And then for us healers, we have to remember we've got work, right? In order to sustain ourselves, our livelihood, we have to produce. And so we need to take care of our feelings in real time as a way to produce and be able to move forward, because people are counting on us, our clients, our customers, our colleagues. And so whether you supervise people or not, any organization is counting on people to be productive. But that means they also have to pay attention to their feelings and the feelings of other people, right? If we could practice that empathy, then you're more likely to be more effective and productive at work. But this is a real-time approach. Okay, it's not something that you wait to do for the weekends, right? If you're feeling upset with your boss or a colleague, you need to share what's going on with that person in real time, or as close to real time as possible, so it doesn't magnify and create more distance between you and your colleague, okay? Because if you can fix that faster and articulate what's going on, it's going to be a speed bump versus a major disaster.
But if you do need 10 minutes before you tackle that, take it.
Sure, that's right. And if that's the time that you take to get clarity about your internal experience and how you feel about something, to get yourself in order and then present the best case, when you talk to your colleague, then that's time well spent. But it can't be time spent thinking about how you're going to get that person, okay? Because if it becomes a game of gotcha, right? That actually just makes the situation worse, and it actually will escalate. And now you're going to even be more stressed and more frustrated, right? So we have to pay attention to these things. And, one of the things I work with leaders on is to make sure that in those exchanges, in the way that they're acting, is always in their values. A lot of organizations spend a lot of marketing dollars on creating values, mission, vision, and values for their organization. Well, these are the times where organization needs to be looking at those values and then internally practicing those values. Those are your action steps. And I know a lot of groups have them. They just need to use them on the inside, right?
That is a really good point, Michael. You're just full of good points, man.
Yay! What you were just saying, I say this all the time. What you believe is how you behave. Mm-hmm. What you believe is how you behave. So as a leader, if you're practicing the values of your organization in your behavior, then people will know what you believe. Right? When we don't do that, it's like do as I say, not as I do. That's when you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, and it's not good. You know what I mean? It's definitely not good because they're not. It's gonna see you as stable.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Or honest.
Yeah.
Or honest. Right. Yeah, because a lot of people, they complain about the lack of integrity. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of companies and organizations have the word integrity in their values. And so integrity is showing up based on what you said you were going to do. So if you've interviewed with this company or organization and your future boss says to you, yeah, I'm someone with integrity. We do this, we do that. And then it's something different when you get there. Well, that's not integrous, right?
No, it's not. And then you're already in it. You know what I mean?
You're in too deep. That's right.
Information was great. So to summarize it, you said, if you were a goal-oriented leader before, you need to kind of shift to be more
people-focused and paying attention to feelings. So if you're goal-focused, you don't need to work on developing your strengths and goal-getting. Okay, you need to develop your strengths in people and feelings. All right, and if your strength was people and feelings, then you need to develop goal orientation. All right, because those are the factors. Those are the biggest factors in any organization.
Okay, that's great, you guys. I hope you found this information valuable. You can reach Michael right here. His email, superhero@michaelsgrowth.com. Contact me as well at officially-unofficial.tv@gmail.com and send me any topics that you would like us to cover in the future. Remember to follow me so that you can be notified when this awesome content comes up. Ana Gil, Officially Unofficial. Thank you so much. Bye.